In the heart of Alberta, or known by city folk as Stettler, is a man with a dream that involves a lot of grit, long nights, and beaver felt, where the fur is soft, the steam is hot, and the hospitality is next to none, is where you can find the man named Jace, owner of JWT Hats.
JWT Hats is bringing back authentic Western hat making to its roots. With all of his years on the rodeo circuit and on the range, Jace is a steward of the Western way. He understands the needs and wants of any cowboy and the job his or her hat has to endure.
Using the finest materials, Jace can craft a hat to meet any cowboy or cowgirl's liking, including any shape, size, or color. Each hat is custom made to cater any person's noggin, big or small. And don't think you're too far away from his little shop. JWT Custom Hats will ship anywhere in North America. His hat can be found far and wide, including his Instagram and TikTok.
So come on down to Stettler or give Jace a ring at 403-740-3574. Remember, folks, if you look good, you feel good.
And we're rolling, Mason.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Hicks from Six broadcast. Podcast.
Say broadcast.
I did say broadcast. Coming to you straight from Olds, Alberta. We're here in the bunkhouse. And
States.
folks, this is a very special episode. We did it. We hit the big 100. We made it to the big leagues. And you know what, folks? What you're listening to right now is actually our second time doing a banter, because we just love podcasting so much that we just did an entire banter. It was fucking awesome. It was legendary. And then we looked at the computer and Devin's like, I forgot to press record. So you know what you would think by the time you get to around your 100th episode, you would kind of have the shit figured out by now. But you know what, folks? We're not professionals at this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what we're doing. If anybody ever said, like, I'm actually, you know what? If anybody ever came up to me and was like, "Hey, man, I want some advice from you guys. I want to like start a podcast," I'd be like, "You're talking to the wrong guy. Like, you're talking to the wrong guy, man." Like, I have zero clue what's going on.
Yeah,
but,
I actually have some statistics.
Okay, so Devin's gonna pull up some statistics here, but yeah, 100th episode, folks. We did it. Round of applause to everybody. You know,
all right.
Pat yourself on the back.
Got the stats? Yeah, I got some stats here.
Okay.
So first stat is, we're like, I'm going to say this right now. I'm not like, the thing about podcasting is like, again, if you want to get into podcasts, we'll get a bit into this. If you want to get into podcasting, it takes a lot more work than you think. You don't just talk and just toss it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if you want to grow your podcast or attempt to grow your podcast, like there's a lot more work that comes into it. So fun fact. Out of the lower income podcasts, only 10% have published over 100 episodes. So successful podcasters are over 7 times more likely to have published over 100. I don't know.
Humble flex.
But we are in the top. We're in the top 10%.
Sheesh.
Because we are
nice.
Well, thank you, Jace, for sponsoring the podcast. But we're in the low income podcast.
But we're not like top 1%ers though. We're not like Top Gun.
There is a 50% chance that your podcast will fail.
Nice.
And we didn't.
Yet. Yet. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. 100 episodes, Mason.
100, we made it.
Did you think that we would have made it?
I don't know, to be honest. Like
there was times where it was tough. I will say, I know podcast is not a tough gig, like mentally, physically, but it was like tough just to keep it going some weeks. Mm-hmm. Like fresh ideas, finding guests, fresh ideas. You know.
Do you think we're gonna make it to 1,000 episodes?
No.
Why not?
I think Josie, my girlfriend, would divorce me if we did over 1,000 episodes.
Okay, well, your girlfriend, you have to get married first before you can get divorced, Dad.
Yes, but good point. Good point. However,
okay.
We release 52 episodes in a year.
Yeah, because we only do once a week now, right?
Once a week.
We used to do it twice.
Twice.
We split the interview in half.
So it would take us another 19-ish years, if my math is correct. 18 years. Let's be kind. 18 years.
To doing once a week to get to 1,000?
Yes, but here's the thing. The amount of time it takes to into a podcast, it takes a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think, like, our future wives, whether that be my, well, yeah.
Anyways, he says.
I'm sorry, Josie. For listening to this.
Does she even listen to the podcast?
To be honest, no.
How is she gonna find out that? Who cares?
Anyways, we're just gonna go past this point.
Okay, guys, Devin he's been working a lot lately.
Yeah.
His mind is just completely shot. Like, he didn't even press record for him.
Yeah. And I'm the one that's always on top of this shit. I get basic crap for not following up with, like, you know, you have your routine with guests and whatever, and Mason's routine is like, hopefully they show up.
Well, I mean, yeah.
There's better ways of doing it. Yeah, anyways, so, for starters, thank you to everyone that's listened to the podcast, all of our guests, and all of our supporters.
Yeah, like, even like everybody we've interviewed, right? Like,
our guests, big shout out to our guests.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, they've taken precious time out of their evening to, like, talk to us.
Yeah.
We're the most unqualified people to be doing this.
Oh, some days you just feel like an absolute dumbass talking to some of these
big
guys.
time, right?
Like, some of these guys are so smart, or they're just doing such cool things, or you're just like, what the
I'm surprised a lot of people, like, 5 minutes into the interview just didn't hang up. You're like, oh, I went in a tunnel, you know.
Bad service.
We'll try again next time.
Oh shit! The wind blew down my Wi-Fi thingy or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oops. Rogers Tower went out again. Yeah. Shit.
Whoops.
But I don't know. Some people do off their phones, right? Some people do off their data.
That's true. Okay.
But thank you to all of our guests.
Yes.
Thank you for taking the hour and a half, 2 hours. Some of you were 2.5, almost 3 hours. I think a couple of them were close with post banter, with like post just bullshitting.
Yeah. And
for just supporting the podcast. Second of all, thank you to all of our listeners. I said this the first. You guys
are the real MVP.
Yeah. Shout out to. I said this to Mason the first round. If you have listened to all 100 episodes and can somewhat authenticate it somehow.
You know what you could do to authenticate that is on sorry, Milo just ran there. I got distracted. On Apple Podcasts, it shows if you've played the episode all the way through. So if you screen record and you scroll through and show that you've listened to all of our episodes.
Yeah. DM us. Special little gift regarding our little merch line coming out soon. Ooh. Big announcement coming soon.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, listen to all 100 episodes. Let us know, please. Thank you.
Yeah. And speaking of which, because it's our 100th episode, we're gonna do a little. Oh,
I want to do one more shout out.
Okay.
To a few special people. First of all, shout out to Bethany from Bar Double Diamond. She was kind of one of our first like social media kind of co-working together type of thing. Small business. So shout out to her for always supporting us, type of thing. Second of all, shout out to Jace from JWT Custom Hats for sponsoring, of course, the podcast. Just being a good old bud to have a good bullshit and wings and beer.
Shoot the shit with, yeah.
Stellar, Alberta. Good old times. Third shout out to past sponsor Brody Nestrovich with his cricket farm. Shout out to him for doing that and supporting the podcast there for a while. Fourth one, I guess. I'm just going off here. Fourth one, James and Izzy from Tall Timber Calico.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for always letting us come around, help out there. And then also just supporting the podcast. Fifth and final one. This guy's pretty special.
Who's that?
Shout out to John Mueller.
The old man.
The old man. So we've had probably like 30 or 40 guests on.
You think so?
I think roughly.
You have to count it up, yeah.
Roughly.
Okay.
And of the 30 to 40, he has probably done or got us about between 15 to 25% of our guests.
Yeah. Hey, he's a pretty connected guy. He's got a lot of contacts.
He's got a lot of contacts.
He's really big into the networking game.
You know, me and Mason will be sitting here like, we're missing out on some Southern Alberta contact. Hey, John, who you got for us this week?
Who you got, John? Yeah.
No, shout out to him. And also, like, he was the first interviewee on our podcast, or interview, I guess.
Yep.
Um,
and a little foreshadowing as well. The guest of this episode was actually another kind of product of John's coordination.
yeah,
So,
John's contacts.
yeah. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you,
Thank
Johan.
you, Mr. Mueller.
Thank you, Johan.
Yeah, the old Johan.
The old Johan.
Yeah.
But what were you saying there, Mason?
Well, I think we should get into the giveaway. We're doing a giveaway, folks.
Celebrate 100 episodes. Woo!
Woo, woo, woo! Yeah, so we wanted to do a little something to give back to all you listeners here. So, Devin, do you kind of want to break down how the giveaway is going to work?
I will. So, for everyone that's listening, this episode was released on Sunday. Holy shit. Sunday,
Yikes.
May 7th. Tune in to our Instagram. I'll also say something also on our TikTok, like a TikTok story or something like that. But tune in to our Instagram sometime in the evening on May 8th. We will have a post describing the details of the giveaway, what's going to be happening, and how to get entered. Now, this giveaway is a I guess we could call it a multi-party giveaway or multi-organization giveaway. So item number 1 on the giveaway. Ready, Mason?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's a pretty sick giveaway.
Okay.
Bethany from Bar Double Diamond she is donating a wild rag with a matching dog wild rag.
Yeah, it's pretty sick one too. It's nice color. It's like clean. Burgundy, and it's the same pattern and same color as the one that she sent us for Milo.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've seen that picture on Instagram or TikTok with Milo with his little rag on, it's the exact same one. It's awesome. It's so cool.
Second item is from Jace from JWD Custom Hats. Jace, we kind of told Jace about the giveaway and whatever, and the same day, he sends us a picture. He sends me, I was telling him about it. I called him or whatever. And he's like, you know what? I have this hat that I was just kind of playing around with today. I'll send you a picture. Why don't we just throw it in the giveaway? And I was like, you know what? Sure. I didn't even see that. And he's like, yeah, sure. Why not? Sends me a picture. This hat's kind of funky looking.
Yeah, guys, that's a weird one. So this is definitely not his normal kind of work.
Yeah, it's a little different. But I don't like it. I think someone will actually, if whoever wins it.
Would you wear it?
Well, it's kind of female. So like,
it's kind of female.
Yeah,
it's kind of feminine.
Yeah, I mean, like you could take out the feather and maybe it could turn to like a kind of. You have to
just go look at the Instagram, guys. Just
you can't describe it.
Yeah, it can't be described with words.
It's still cool though.
Yeah,
it's funky and cool.
Yes.
Third item is that, like we said before, we're gonna do another merch drop. We kind of been trying to modify it, and I think we found a better way of doing it. So we're going to put in a $50 gift voucher, virtual gift card, I guess, to any of our merch. That's going to be coming out soon, hopefully within the next month. Amy?
Yep.
Right?
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, no, that's been in the works for a while now. So yeah.
Everybody go join
Instagram.
In that. It's free, so I mean, you may as well go.
Instagram,
join.
Monday, May 8th. It's going to run all week long. And then on the 14th, which is the following Sunday, we're going to do on Instagram Live and TikTok Live. We're going to pick it.
That's right. So yeah, tune in.
Okay,
so we got some more stuff that we kind of wanted to talk about here before we got into our guest here today. But before we do that, we got to do Devin's favorite segment, Milo's favorite segment, this empty Pilsner beer can that's been here for the last 2 weeks.
No, that's been
just
there.
Collecting dust.
That's been there for some months.
It's this can's favorite segment as well, the Western Word of the Week.
All right.
Wait, you did the wrong sound. You need a little.
All right, say it again, Mason.
The Western Word of the Week.
Man.
Yeah, there we go.
100
You're
episodes.
Killing it, Deb. You're killing it, man.
You know what? Do you know what my excuse is today?
Work.
New program. Still haven't figured it out.
There you go.
Which, if you want to, tell us if you like the new program or not. If you're watching on the YouTube, I think it's pretty stellar.
Okay, so everybody, we had already done this because we bantered already. So I'm still gonna ask you, Dev, what you think it is. But you should know now at this point.
Do you just want to put down?
Yeah, just play dumb for a second, but I gotta find where it is. What was it again? I gotta find it. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. No. I almost found it. Give me 2 seconds, Dad. All right. Homeless as a poker chip.
No, I don't even know.
Dude.
Tough one.
It's a tough one, eh? I mean, if you think about a poker chip, it's going through a lot of different hands.
It has so many
it travels
meanings.
A lot.
It can mean like self and despair. It can mean happiness and fortune.
Ooh. Pull out the big words, Dad.
I know.
All right, so what do you think it means?
A drifter.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, so it's said of a restless person, one with a wanderlust, one who never remained long in one locality. So there you go, folks. If you're homeless as a poker chip, you're just going town to town, maybe stirring up a little trouble. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe getting all the ladies from town to town. Who knows?
Yeah, stay in one town until you run the town dry and then move on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, we kind of wanted to do a little recap, though, of the past 100 episodes of this podcast.
Let's highlight. First of all, again, like we said, thank you to all of our guests.
Yeah.
I think there's not any real interviews coming to mind that I did not enjoy.
I don't think there are any.
So, but these are some extra special ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of the funniest, some of the most interesting, and some of the most enjoyable podcasts.
Yeah, I would say most interesting and most enjoyable / fun usually goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So that's maybe
so a couple Mason, of those. You go. We'll go back stake draft back and forth.
Okay, sounds good. So on the interesting side of things, one that kind of comes to mind when I was scrolling through all the episodes that we did, and one that I kind of forgot about, to be honest, was our interview with Keith Driver.
Oh yeah. Shrimp farmer, mushroom man.
Exactly. Yeah. So for all you folks out there that didn't listen to that one, it's kind of way back. I think it's like the 30s or 40s, something like that. It
was back in the summer.
Yeah, and it's just interesting to see all the stuff he's involved in, and
dude,
it's a pretty big deal as well.
Dude, I remember us making up this question sheet beforehand, and we had less than half a page. And usually we have a standard but full page, 3/4 full pages of questions. I remember us having, I think we had half a page. And dude, we were in there for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was about a 2-hour interview. And I remember the second that he left the call, Bev and I, we were just sitting on there. We were looking at each other. We were like, holy shit, that guy was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Right? Damn, how the hell did we get this guy?
Yeah.
Right?
It was just so interesting. It just went so many different ways. And it was just it was fluid. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, it was really interesting shit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mine?
Yep.
Another kind of Mueller connection. Brendan, the egg engineer.
Okay, yep.
I thought it was just, we've had some pretty interesting guests, like you said, different, niche or non, conventional egg or rodeo guests, right? Mm-hmm. And he was one of them.
Yep.
There's not very many, you don't really know what goes on behind the scenes with how a tractor is built or how an implement is built.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting to get his perspective about that type of stuff. And yeah.
Just what that side of the industry looks like. Yeah.
All right.
Another really interesting one that I thought, and obviously they're all interesting, but Brittany, who
Rodeo Queen
was the Miss Rodeo Canada for a year. It was baffling to hear what their schedule was like and all the stuff they have to do. And it's just holy shit, it's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and what I thought was also cool, how she kind of made a lifestyle out of it after.
Yeah.
She's big on social, big on Instagram and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to take what she built being a rodeo queen and use it now.
Yeah.
Present day. So
and balance that while being a teacher.
All right. I'm going to mix it up.
Okay.
Funniest.
Okay.
I got one.
Okay.
Way back when, I think it was up in the 10s. All right.
Yeah.
Wyatt, it was two episodes. So we did a split episode for this one. But the whole interview was so funny. With okay, Siri, you can shut up now. You ruined the moment, but it's okay. So Wyatt Glover, first time he came on.
Yeah.
The boop. And what not to do before Kermit.
Yeah. Those are some pretty legendary stories.
there's some like usually I try and re-listen to podcasts, like our podcast for stuff. I probably re-listen down like 4 or 5 times.
Have you actually?
Yeah, because it's just so funny. It gets me every single time.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it's so funny. And like, yeah, as many of you guys, if you're a frequent listener to the podcast, you know, we like our beer. We like our alcohol, whatnot. You like your beer. I like my
your girly drinks.
My tall cans, you know, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. And I will say that one, if it were to have a trophy, it'd be the most drunk I came out of an interview.
Yeah, so I guess a little background on that one. When he showed up, like we just started like crushing the beers. Like probably over the course of that interview, probably had like 6 beers or something like that. So towards the end, it was we started to get a little out of control, almost like, and it was we were just feeding off of each other, right? And it was just
at one point I was like, all right, that's enough.
Definitely shut it down. At one point, he's like, all right, guys, we've been going on for too long. This is just nonsense at this point. So, I'm cutting it here.
After the boob story, I was like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah,
it's funny, but this could go way more. This could go like way past that soon. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, that was a funny one. One that comes to the top of my mind for like kind of the funniest / like most enjoyable while I was doing it was when we did the self-research on like the history of the Outlaws.
Oh, at the ranch?
Yeah, we were at the ranch there, and we had James.
Kind of got drunk out of that one too.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we had James and Matthijs, and also Massimo was there too, but he didn't really say much. And it was just so much fun, like having those weird. We're talking about just the most random stuff.
Did we do a snake draft?
We did do a snake draft. Yeah. And it was fun having Matthijs on there along with James, and
shout out to Matthijs.
You get some different elements and some different opinions and conversation. So that one was just it was a blast. Other notable ones that I really enjoyed, or I guess another guest is it's always a great time talking to Drew Gregory.
Oh yeah,
he's a blast. He's a great dude. So we'll I'm sure he'll probably be on again in the future.
Oh yeah, maybe even a YouTube if we can get around to it.
Yep, for sure.
Definitely YouTube. So, what about me?
Another enjoyable.
I want to shout out one of our guests again, Brody Nestrovich. He's come on twice now. He just always he's a guaranteed good old just talking to.
He's got his fingers in a lot of things too, so you can.
You just you always know when you're going to talk to him. It's always going to be a good little conversation. You know what I mean? So shout out to Brody.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also Benjamin Dakota Rogers was pretty sick just because I love his music so much. So that one was kind of cool.
Yeah. And I think too, it's just some of the guests that we've got, like Manure Mafia, Trevor Bales, Farm for Profit, especially some of the most recent ones. Like it's been pretty cool you see them on the this is from like a small podcaster type moment, right? Or perspective. Like you see all these big guys on the internet that have like tons and tons of followers. And the cool part is they're all just normal dudes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're all just good down to earth.
Just down to earth. And like you see all the numbers, but in the end they're just normal people, just got a lot of extra eyes on them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, have we even said who our guest is today, Dan?
No, and this is the second time we have done this banter. This is the second time we haven't said her name. This is also be the second time we're going to mess up her last name.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure. I'm going to try.
Right.
But in a couple minutes here, when the actual interview rolls, you'll be able to hear exactly what it is. But I'm pretty sure it's Kaitlyn Bolduc. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it says Lubbock.
Yeah.
Lubbock cattle?
Yeah.
Lubbock cattle.
So yeah, she's got a very prestigious Angus operation going on in the Stavely area.
And meat shop.
Yeah. So they do a lot of stuff around there. Pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. And they're also really big into the genetic side of things. So pretty rad.
Shout out John Mueller again for giving us this interview.
yeah, exactly.
He's our plug.
Yeah, he is for sure. What do you figured out? Should we hop in here?
Let's hop in.
So you're fully prepared right now. You got all your bases covered.
I have the Buckleys. Really gets bad.
The quick Buckley shots,
Yeah.
Does that work, actually? I don't think I've ever had Buckleys before.
You've never had Buckleys?
I don't think so. Doesn't that stuff taste like shit? I don't know.
It does, but it works. So I literally at 4-H shows used to be that girl that carried it around in my pocket and looked like I was just taking a swig from a Mickey all the time.
So you're like the Tums person, like the person who just always has Tums on them, except it's with Buckley's.
Buckley's. Oh, if I have a cough, I have Buckley's on me or around me somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
I always stay strapped.
Yeah.
You should get like a special little holster that you can just keep it in.
This size bottle could almost fit in a what am I trying to say? The little
the ones that you can put your phone in.
Flask. It would fit in a flask.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can slip it in your back pocket. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Back pocket, boot, wherever. Yeah.
Yeah, you try walking into the bar and they're like, "Ma'am, you can't bring outside liquor in here." It ain't liquor, buddy.
Just my Buckley's.
Yeah, that's sweat it. All right. Awesome. Anyways, I guess everybody, welcome to another interview on the Hicks and the Six podcast. Mm-hmm. Today we have a very special guest. We have Kaitlyn, and I need to quickly look up what your last name is.
Well, it says it right. Hey, Mason. If you look at our little projection here, it says it right in the bottom left-hand corner. But I know your eyes absolutely
Bolduc. Is that how you say it?
That is correct.
Perfect. All right, we got Kaitlyn Bolduc here.
Bolduc,
right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. Perfect. And Kaitlyn, she's got a bit of a Angus operation going on here with a bit of a meat store. So we kind of wanted to dive into that a little bit, but before we kind of get going into that, we got a quick question for you here. Yesterday was Wednesday. Yeah. Actually, for everybody listening right now, happy 420 as well, if you celebrate that holiday. But back on track here. What's your go-to wing flavor?
Oh.
I don't know about you, but like the boys, every Wednesday, you got to get wings. Yeah. It's a tradition. So what's your go-to?
If our group of friends can fit it in, we go to town and I get hot wings, but I'm the girl that douses it in ranch. Like I need like 3 of the little containers of ranch to just smother it in. So I don't know if I really love hot. Maybe it's just the ranch I like.
See, hot, because I'm a big hot person too. That's every time I go there, they always chirp me about it because they're looking at the menu. They're like, "Oh, should I get the maple bacon one this time? Oh, should I get maybe the?" I don't even know. There's like some weird flavors there. I'm just like double or hot. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But with ranch, it's elite. But like the hot, it's good because it's got a little kick. But even just the flavor itself is really good, I think. So I know what you're saying. You're not a weirdo.
My friends always ask if I even taste the hot. Like I literally every bite has so much ranch on it. So
you guys ranch with it pretty much too. Just get a full pint of ranch. Just take a little sip in between.
No pint. Get one of those. You know they do the jug night. Just get a full jug of it, like a spoon, and then you're able just to like drizzle it on top. Then right. The jug is a little flap on it.
Yeah.
Just drizzle it on top.
Well, whereabouts are you guys based out of? You're just like Stavely area, right?
Yeah, we're just west of Stavely. We're off the highway like 2 miles.
Do you guys have like a bar there? Or is this just a restaurant that does
There is a bar there, and there's a pizza and pasta place that does Wing Wednesday, but Claresome is just to the south of us, and it's only 10 minutes away, and it's got a couple pretty decent bars in it, so that's usually where we go.
Roy's place.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of food out in that part of the country, how good is Silver Slate? I've heard stories.
Oh, it's good. It's good. We go there on special occasions because it's so good. But they make a mean steak, and it's like all you can eat bread, all you can eat salad before you get your meal. Then you get a pasta, and then you get your steak or whatever you ordered. But you better get a steak. And I highly recommend the potato wrap. That is delicious.
Wait, is this in Claresholm or where is this?
It's like you go drive down the highway. Is it before or after Stavely? Can't remember.
It's north of Stavely. It's actually on like an old highway. It's not right on highway number 2, but it would be, half a mile off highway number 2, just west. And it's a riding arena that they built there, and they have a lot of horse functions there, ropings, all that. And then they've got a little restaurant in it, and it's only open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think. And it's like they say book a reservation in the summer because it's that busy.
Holy smokes. So what you're saying is people go there for the food, and then if there just happens to be some sort of event going on, they stick around for that?
Yeah. Yeah, they do open like mic nights and live music nights and that kind of stuff too. So a lot of the locals hit up that, and they do a steak special usually on those nights too, and it's delicious.
Okay, we're gonna have to hit that place up there.
Yeah.
Have you been?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, from the stories I've heard, it's very good. And then also the story too of like you have to book like 3 months in advance.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Yeah.
So
You're pretty lucky. I can't say I book ever 3 months in advance. I'd like to be organized, but I'm not that organized. So I phone like the day of, and I'm like, how busy are you going to be tonight? Can we just like slide in? And usually you can't get in. I have not been turned away once. So
you're pretty much a local celebrity. Like you don't have to wait in any line. You know, you just walk right in. They have like a special table with your name on it, special parking spot for you.
I don't go there. I don't go there.
Door.
I think that's pretty standard. I don't think they turn many people away. I don't think I'm special. I'd like to think I'm special. Not that special.
All right. Well, we gotta hit that place up.
all right.
Yeah.
But also
it's 3 months from now. Is that July?
Birthday weekend.
Birthday weekend.
Ooh. We're 5 days apart. Birthday wise.
So we just do a birthday week.
Yeah.
That's all encompassing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I guess quick plug to Silver Slate, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
No free ads though. You got
No free ads, yeah. We're expecting a check in the mail.
Yeah.
And we ain't cheap. So yeah, I guess, do you want to kind of give just a quick description about yourself? I know usually most people ask this first, but you like food, so just a quick description. Right, like you said, where you're from, Stavely. What's the ranch? How long's it been in the family, stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. So we are located, like I said, at Claresholm. It's named Cudlob Angus. It's our last name spelt backwards with an E on the end. My family has been raising purebred livestock since 1804. So yeah, it's in the blood, they say. My grandparents raised purebred shorthorns. They bought the place we're at right now in 1952. So my dad was raised here. So I'm the third generation on the place, fourth generation to be raising Angus shorthorn cows.
So 1804. So where was the family from before then? Or is 1804 since you guys have been in Canada?
You know what? I really don't know the history that far back. I know 3 generations back, and that's as far as I get. My dad has a whole trophy room in his house that's dedicated to the history and all the awards we've won and all that. We've had we have little medallions from the Claresholm Fair when my great grandpa used to show pigs there. So yeah, my dad would be better known for that. I only know the more recent stuff. I'm not a history buff. I won't lie. I'm not a history buff. So, but yeah, no. So we've been raising purebred livestock since 67. My dad bought 3 Angus cows in 67. Very active in the show ring. And then about early 2000s, kind of saw that the market was going more towards marbling and carcass quality. So we saw that the show ring was maybe not where we thought the market would be going. So we decided our cattle looked as good as they were going to look on the outside. How do we make them better on the inside? So for the last 20 some years now, we have been continuing to raise cattle that we like to say excel in their environment, both in the pasture and on the hook. So we like to say we're the leading carcass and performance herd in Canada, or one of them. And we've been very fortunate to work with certified Angus beef and brands like that as far as the Angus breed goes. So yeah, I guess that's what we do.
Right on. Wait, when you guys got those 3, the original 3, was that when Angus wasn't really like that popular yet?
Yeah, my dad talks about he used to hear on the radio that the black calves brought 10 cents left or less so than the other cattle. So my dad only got in the Angus really at that time was my grandparents were very active in the shorthorns, and he was on the Alberta Shorthorn board, I want to say, and he just wanted something different than his parents.
Wants to be a bit of a rebel.
Yeah. So he went and bought 3 black cows at a local dispersal sale and never went back. My uncle came back to the farm 8 years later and joined my dad, and they kind of just grew it to what it is today.
So there's no more shorthorns anymore then, right?
No, there's no more shorthorns. Even us kids used to have little few red Angus calves that we used to show and that kind of stuff. And we don't have those anymore either. It was too hard. It's like running 2 different breeds. So yeah, we're straight black Angus. 300 mother cows now we calve a year, and have a meat business on the side, I guess. And then we do facilitate some customer sales for our clientele as well. So
okay, right on. Okay, so before we get too far into that stuff, I
was saying we get into it, and I know what you want.
I want to rewind the clock here.
Oh, okay. Race podcast today.
Yeah, we're gonna go back in time a little bit here. Okay. So it came to my attention that you've done some school in the States. One of them was in Kansas. So whereabouts in Kansas was that, first of all?
So I went to school in Hutchinson, Kansas. I guess I can back up a little bit more than that if you want my history specifically. I got done high school and was like, I'm never going back to school. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to stay at the farm. I have 0 interest to go to school, like 0. But so I went to Scotland and England for 6 weeks, and then I came home. And then I was lucky enough to be selected on the Canadian Angus's World Angus Forum youth team when the World Angus Forum was in New Zealand. So I told my dad I would postpone school another 6 months because the deal was I had to go to school for my dad. So I would postpone school for 6 months and I'd go to New Zealand for 10 days. Like it was how I managed to swindle him into giving me 6 months for 10 days in New Zealand was it's a pretty great deal for me.
Negotiating skills are on par.
Or land.
I am the youngest of 3, and I'm the only girl. So,
that's it right there. Then, yeah. Say no more.
My brothers would probably say I'm just a wee bit spoiled, but I like to say I'm a hard worker. But so I went to New Zealand, and then I met a lot of people and friends from Australia. So then I thought, oh, well, I'll put off school another 6 months and I'll go to Australia for 4 weeks. So I then did that, came home from that. And it was kind of like, well, my family's like, what are you going to do now? It's 2 years off since you've been to high school. You got to go back or now or never. And I kind of hummed and hawed. And I was actually fortunate enough to know someone that went to school in Hutchinson, Kansas that knew the judging coach down there. So I actually got a call one day and they said, if we give you a scholarship, will you come judge on our livestock judging team? So I didn't want to be the girl that said, what if? Like there's so many kids that would love that opportunity, or, I didn't ever want to wonder what would happen if I didn't go. So I shipped off and went to Kansas. Totally different for me. It's hot. I don't do well in heat. I actually lived with a girl from Alabama and she said it was dry and I said it was humid. So it was an experience. I was only there for a year.
To get used to that accent.
If I am around Americans, I switch to people say I don't sound like a Canadian, and the Americans say I don't sound like an American. So no one wants to claim me. I don't know.
So technically you're bilingual.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's what I like to tell myself anyway. So I went to Kansas for a year. Kind of decided that the livestock judging thing wasn't really for me. I love judging cattle, but I can't say sheep or pigs, or the rest of it is my passion. And then I had a family member, an aunt, pass away while I was at school down there. So that also kind of shook things up. So I said I wanted to come home, closer to home anyways. And so I looked at Saskatoon and Montana State. And to come to a Canadian school, it was hard to transfer my credits from the year in Kansas. So I ended up at Montana State, finishing my degree there. Okay, so you're on the judging team there. What does your team uniform look like for that? It depends when you're at the competitions. Like you were in suit jacket, like I still have a coat, like a suit coat in my closets that's a bright pink because you wanted to like stand out, like you wanted to make yourself look different, but still professional. So it was suit pants, suit jacket. I can remember the very first day I went to workout, they call it. So you're going to a judging practice, and it was still in the. So it's the middle of summer. It's 110 degrees Fahrenheit down there. My parents are still there. They haven't left yet. And, you're still supposed to dress somewhat presentable when you go on these practices. So I was in like a black, like just normal, like Storm Tech jacket or Cole Harbor jacket or whatever. And we went to judge sheep, and it was really my first experience with judging sheep, and they smelt and it was hot. And I can remember leaving that practice and being like, what have I got myself into? Do not leave me here. Like this is not meant for me. Like, do not leave me here. So I quickly learned less layers. It's not like Canada. You don't want more layers. It's like the least amount of layers. A nice shirt, if you can get away with it, that was the way to go.
Okay. But you can't like just bomb around with like short shorts on and like a tank top.
Not if you're going to visit someone's place. Like, I think if it was, I can't say I ever did. I wore jeans all the time. But yeah, because you're going to someone's place, we always kind of tried to at least look half decent and presentable, I guess.
Yeah. When you guys were doing your judging, I feel like the uniform should have been like Holstein print pants, Holstein print suit. Like, you'd really stand out then, right?
Yeah, that's true. It was interesting at the competitions because you were in a room lots of times with just curtains. Like I say a room, but you were in like an auditorium, and there was just sometimes curtains 10 feet apart from each other. So you're giving reasons side by side. So it really sometimes just got to the point of whoever yelled the loudest and was the most confident in their reasons, they did the best. So it was mild and meek people did not succeed in or excel in that setting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
Another. I know we've been talking about college for a while now, but I got another question about the judging. Is there like an NCAA like March Madness for this?
So you make it to the final 8.
I was just at a junior college, so it was pretty it was intense, especially compared to what we do up here. But it wasn't like in the big universities when you go to a K-State University or those types of schools. It's very, very intense, and that's where you would get that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Kansas too is really big into their school sports. I'm assuming that the school you went to probably didn't have a D1 program. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
no.
Did you guys ever go to those D1 games and just get a feeling of like that atmosphere?
Yeah, I was very fortunate to have family friends down there, so they drug me along to a few K-State games and those sorts of games, and then I went to a lot of Montana State football games as well. And yeah, they live and breathe it, and it rubs off. I'm not gonna lie, I still feel ties to Montana State quite thick, so. I can't say I fly a flag outside, but the game's on. I'm making sure I'm cheering for the right team.
Yeah, it's in your DNA now.
Yeah.
So how was the transition though from Kansas to Montana?
It was just night and day because I think Montana is so much like Alberta. Like the people, the cattle industry, it's so much like Alberta that I just felt like I was at home. Like they were just good people, easy to, and not that Kansas wasn't good people. I shouldn't say that. It's just their cattle market is very different. They're show orientated. It's just a different atmosphere. So moving to Montana, I just felt like I was finding my people again. So yeah, I loved it.
Kind of sounds like it's just a bunch of pricks down there.
I did not say it. I liked Kansas. It just was not meant for me.
Okay, fair enough.
I got it's not. I'm getting really. I'm gonna start digging here a bit. So why do you? So I find that comment you said there earlier that it's more show oriented in Kansas. because isn't Kansas like the feedlot state of the U.S.? So how does that work out?
Yeah, and I think it's more the college, like because you were in a livestock judging college. A lot of those kids that are on the judging team are come from show families or 4-H families where it's very show orientated. So I think I was more immersed in that culture, I guess. Once I left the university, like I said, I have family friends down there that run Red Angus cattle. And I went to their ranch all the time, and it was great there. If I could have just stayed there, I would have loved it as well. I just don't think I'm meant to be in the city either. In Montana, Bozeman is still pretty laid back, and it's getting bigger now since I've been there, but it was still a really laid back, Aggie kind of school.
That's where you guys were based out of there? It was in Bozeman?
Yeah, Montana State is in Bozeman, yeah.
Did you ever see John Dunn?
I can't say I saw John Dunn, no.
Well, it's funny now in Bozeman how there's like some bars that will have Kevin Costner not allowed or whatever signs in the front.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like him there. Well, I don't think they really like Yellowstone just in general, just because now lots of people are coming to Montana. But
yeah,
okay.
there's a lot of tourists going to Montana now, so yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. Okay, so the real question here, the one that we've all been itching to hear.
Oh boy.
Which school was better party school, Kansas or Montana?
So, I mean, Kansas was great. Hutchinson was great. We were so busy with the livestock judging, and it was very demanding that I can't say the party life was out of control. I also was very, how should I say? I was very grade orientated. My dad sent me to school for a reason. So, yeah, I buckled down in Kansas, and especially with my aunt passing away, I had to kind of juggle school, coming home to Canada, and livestock judging. So I can't say I partied a lot in Hutch. Now, Montana is a different story.
Well, by the time you were in Montana, you would have been 21 by then as well, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah. I was still 20 when I was in Kansas. And then, I turned 21 when I was in Montana. And I had a great time in Montana. It was a good time. I kind of buckled down my first year and got really good grades, and then was able to slack off my second year, and I got to know the bars well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Were you part of a sorority?
I was not part of a sorority. No. They have an egg fraternity there, but they don't.
What's the difference?
Boys.
Oh. I thought that's what the difference was.
That's a frat.
Was there not a lot of dudes or a lot of chicks in your program then?
Oh yeah, no, there was lots of girls. Yeah, no, just there wasn't an egg sorority. There was sororities there, just not an agricultural one. And somehow I don't think us egg girls would have fit in with the other sororities.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That's very fair. Awesome. All right, so you finish college. Do you come running back to the farm right away, or did you do something else in between there?
So when I graduated, actually, my head professor or advisor asked me to stay on and take my master's. So they were trying to find me a program in Edmonton that I could stay on and take my master's at. And my dad obviously really wanted that because, that's what fathers want out of their little girls. And I finally was just like, I didn't want to come to school in the first place, so I'm only here for you. So I remember sitting down in my advisor's office and saying, I just want to play in the dirt and raise black cattle. That's what I want to do with my life. And so, I came home in 2017 and stayed here for 2 years, 3 years. Anyways, stayed here for a few years and then kind of felt the itch to get out and branch out on my own. So I actually worked as a business banker or agricultural lender for ATB and loved it. Did that for 14 months, and my dad kind of said he didn't want to, but my one brother is here full time, but my dad still did a lot of the calving and those sorts of things, and I live on the yard, so I tended to do a lot of the night checks and that until I got my job. So my dad is 70 years old at that time and said he didn't want to do it anymore. Checking cows in the middle of the night wasn't fun for him. So Yeah, I'm home again. And I've been home for a year now and love every minute of it. Like, I don't regret it.
So when you were working for ATB, would you ever like judge people that were with other banks? Because like I also bleed the blue. So like, you know, when I see people with other banks, I'm like,
well, it was really awkward because my dad still banked for the farm with a different bank. So it made it a little uncomfortable at times, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, you always think your bank's the best, and I think even since working there, I still believe that. And I even banked at a different bank, and I moved all my banking over to ATB too. So yeah, I still think ATB is where it's at, and yeah.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Wait. I got one more college question here.
Okay.
So while you were down there, like what years were you down there in the States?
I was in Kansas 2014, 2015, and then I was in Montana State 2015 through 2017.
Okay, so while you were down there, did you ever have the opportunity to have one of the original Four Locos?
No, I can't say.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You got all your college questions out?
Yeah, they're all out now.
I have a question for you, Mason.
Okay.
Do you ever wish you could just go back right now to college? She's even like, it looks and sounds like it.
I pretty much
all the time.
So.
All right, I got one banking question, quick. So this is another I don't know what you want to call it, punch to Mason here. So we just Mason wants good financial advice here.
Oh God.
Is it smart to buy a pirate ship?
A pirate ship. I mean, you got dreams. Everyone's got dreams. It's a good goal to have.
I think it's a good investment. I think you would see very high returns on it from all of the gold and treasure you would find.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like the gold at the end of the rainbow, you know? It could happen, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to win the lottery first. But anyways,
and find a pond big enough to throw it in.
Yeah,
I think investment might be a bit of a stretch or a strong word, but a nice hobby, yeah.
No, it would definitely be an investment, but anyways, we can move on from that.
All right, now let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Meat and potatoes. All right, so you talked about the history of the ranch, and you guys are Angus. So what was like for me, just let's go to like where you guys kind of switched from doing the show side of it to more focusing on the inside of the animal. What was there like something that happened that made you guys kind of take that switch? Like, was there like a article you guys read or something, or was it just like, this is not working anymore?
Yeah, I mean, our clientele kind of stopped going, like our bull buyers stopped going to the shows. We weren't gaining bull buyers by being there. Our bull buyers didn't care if we had a pretty ribbon. They could watch cattle that maybe weren't structurally sound win in the show ring, and they just felt that wasn't what they wanted in their programs. And at the end of the day, your bull buyers drive, your direction. So we kind of looked to the United States and we saw how their market was going. And it was becoming very, like 70% of the cattle in America that are fed out are black-hided. So, you could see that happening at that time. Certified Angus beef was getting very, very popular down there. And it was kind of just the writing was on the wall. So we adopted a lot of technology. We moved out of the show ring, adopted a lot of technology. We ultrasound everything, all the sale bulls, all the replacement females, they're DNA'd, everything's DNA'd. And then we use EPDs to move our program forward as well. So it's a bit of a trick. You're trying to create the unicorn, we like to say, that of an animal that looks the part and has the science to back it up.
Mm-hmm. So can you kind of explain those technologies to maybe people, either the grain guys are listening or the rodeo guys? Like, you talk, first of all, genetics. So are you talking about genomic tracing? Is that what you guys are doing?
Yeah. So if we're talking, EPDs is kind of basic where it starts. They take the mom's information, the dad's information, and they for simplest terms, they make an average. So, here's the breed average. This one's going to get you 10 more pounds at time of weaning, or 10 more pounds at yearling weight, or this one's going to marble this much more, or have a bigger ribeye area. Like they have EPDs for all of that. Even now they have EPDs for what cattle are going to have good feet. They've been able to create an EPD for that. So basic EPD is an average of mom and dad. From there, ultrasound data came out, so you could ultrasound and take pictures of the ribeye area and measure how big the ribeye is. So then that goes into the EPDs. So you have hard data now. And then you also can see flecks of marbling in the picture. So you could compare them amongst each other. And this animal, genetically speaking, has more marbling in the meat, which marbling is intramuscular fat, which is what you taste. That's what you want. You want the little flecks of fat in the meat when you're buying steaks. That's what you want. That means they're going to taste better. And that's why we chase marbling. And that's a quality grade. So you can do all that through ultrasound. And then they took it one step further and they did DNAing. So we parentage everything. As a purebred person, I watch my cattle 24/7 pretty much during calving season, but there's 2 hours. I check and then I sleep for 2 hours, and then someone else checks. We have cameras and that, but it doesn't matter how good you are. Cows are going to switch calves. It happens. And in a purebred herd, that matters because our bull buyers want to have the reliability that calf has these genetics in it. So we test every calf to both their mother and their father to know that that's who they are. And then they have come up with genetic markers for marbling and ribeye area and yearling weight growth and birth weight and calving ease. Like it's truly amazing what they've been able to do. So that also goes into the EPDs, and it just makes it all more reliable. And at the end of the day, we provide all of that to our bull buyers. So they have all the tools in the toolbox. Whether they want to use them or not, that's up to them. But our clients ask for it. They want more information. They want to try and find the bulls that fit. Guys come and they have requirements. They have to be over 100 yearling weight EPD, and they have to be over a 1 marbling. Like they have these lists, and they narrow it down to that before they even come and look at the bulls, and then they have to look the part.
I can only imagine how thick your catalogs are. Holy shit.
Well, I'm just trying to think about how much time you maybe expend on Excel. Just getting the data.
I am a master at Excel, and when we're in we artificially inseminate our whole herd, so we are in the thick of it right now. So we have a sheet that has all that information listed for the bulls, and then I pull that information up for the cow, know what the bulls look like, know what the cow looks like, narrow it down to certain bulls, and then match their EPDs too. So we're trying to create this balanced animal. So it's a lot of data collection and comparing numbers and comparing animals, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and then how many animals are you guys running right now?
So here on my dad's place, so my dad and his 2 kids that are active on the farm, we run 300 mother cows. And then my uncle and his son run Cudlob Angus West, and they run about 400 cows, and we still sell the bulls together. So that's how that works.
Also, you guys are running, I was just talking to my dad earlier today. I forget what he was called. A version of heat time.
We are.
Yeah.
So we're running.
Are you guys one of the only beef producers that is using that?
It is becoming definitely more popular. We were the first herd for Allflex's heat sense and heat time system. We saw it in Scotland in the collar format, and we wanted it because the amount of time you spend heat detecting, and there's, at that time it was 300 cows, and it was my dad, and I was still part-time, and my brother was still going to school, and it was just a lot. So we actually tracked down Allflex and was able to become a research herd for them. So we've been using those tags for 6 or 7 years now, and we don't have them in the whole herd yet. We've used them on the bred or replacement heifers every year. So we have 60 to 70 replacement heifers that we put the tags in. And then this year we put another 150 in the younger females in the herd.
So is that the tag version or is that the collar version?
No, we have the tag version. So the tag version can be cut in and out. So we put it in, we try and put it in 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks before our breeding season. That gives them a baseline. So for anyone that doesn't know it, it like dings to this receiver and it's totally based off motion. So you get this is their everyday, right? Like this baseline is their everyday. And then it, when they come in heat, that line skyrockets. And it'll send me a text saying so-and-so is in heat. And then it gives me a time frame of when to best AI her. So it's actually helped our conception rates as well. Because basic AI knowledge is 12 hours from standing heat, you're going to artificially inseminate the cow. That's the standard rule of thumb. We found with the tags, I know this is shocking, not every girl is the same. And sometimes they move through their heat cycle differently.
Bless me.
So that's been, helpful as well, just because every female those heifers were breeding to what they are doing themselves. So.
Do you guys do all the AIing yourself or do you get a technician out?
Yeah. So my dad adopted, we were just talking about this the other day. My dad adopted AI in the early 1970s.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been
AI. 5 years of that then, eh?
Yeah, he was like as soon as it came out, he learned how to do it. So he's been breeding the herd since then. Last year, I want to say I probably bred 60% of the cows, and this year I would have bred 95% of the cows.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So when you're doing it at first, when it took a little longer, like when you're in there for a while and start squeezing on you, that sucks, eh?
The first day of AI season this year there was like 10 cows in heat. And by the end, I was like, this is terrible. Why did I switched arms? I do it enough that I can switch arms during breeding season, but that didn't help me either. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember there's a couple times right when I first kind of learned where I was kind of struggling. So then I was like stuck in there for a while and like my arm was like falling asleep, but I was just like, I didn't cry, but I wanted to cry.
We're pretty lucky.
This sucks.
We're pretty lucky here. Like I do a lot of the AI by myself, but I keep my phone in my pocket because my dad is usually around. He doesn't like doing big cows anymore, but he will do the younger, smaller cows. So if I get stuck, he will come do it. And my brother has never taken the course, but can do it when it comes to a pinch. So he can also help. So we do have, if someone gets tired, the next person jumps in. It's like a tag team.
Yeah. Well, where did you take the course through, or did your dad teach you?
So my aunt actually taught me originally, and then because I was still at that time I was breeding a few cows for some other people and that too, and I just thought it'd be better if I had the course. So I went up to Lakeland and did their 2-day course or day and a half course or whatever, and haven't went back.
Yeah, there you go.
It sounds like for your brother, you guys, John, I know you're listening to this. Sounds like you need to come pay a visit and give a quick clinic.
Yeah, that'd probably be good. It would take, I think he actually likes not being able to 100. Like he likes to play it off like I'm the expert, so he doesn't have to do it. I think my brother prefers it that way.
That's a classic older brother move, right?
Yeah. Like, nah, I'm not as good as you are.
Yes, 110%. That is exactly what he says.
Oh,
okay. So I got a question for you here. Do you want to maybe?
Oh.
What's that for?
Do you want to know what it's for?
Yeah, I know what it's for. So, do you want to talk about Comet a little bit? And is he a good boy?
Yeah, no, Cudlob Comet. We sold him in our sale 2 years ago now. He is kind of our golden boy. He's kind of what we want to breed. He's high marbling and he's got a lot of shape and he looks really pretty, and that's what we want to breed. So, for the guys that say high marbling and high carcass cattle don't breed or don't have a lot of shape, he kind of proves them wrong. So yeah, we're actually using him this year, so we're very excited.
Yeah, because is Comet over in Ontario right now at the CMEX headquarters?
Yep. So Comet's listed in the CMEX catalog. yeah, we used him for the first time this year, and we're super, super excited to get calves on the ground. And his mom's still here and looking awesome. So that's what we like to see.
Yeah, he sounds like he's a good boy.
Yeah,
You're looking at a picture of him right now.
we've never done this before, but we're gonna present my screen. That sounds like my
Professor.
my professor.
In college. Yeah.
We're just going through Google Images here, so everyone, if you're on the YouTube version, you guys can see.
You realize this is a podcast.
What can you say, though? If you're on the YouTube, you can see it though. Is this Comet right here?
That is Comet. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
He's a good boy.
That is a good boy. For the people that can't see right now, we're not going to describe, but we'll just say he's a good-looking boy.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, all you beef people out there, go get some Comet.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Now your dad will be really happy for that plug. Good job.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of which, like when my dad pops by there, like, do you actually is he actually a good salesman, or is he just like a big goof that makes a couple like really lame jokes, and then you like low key kind of feel bad for him for like because there was like such bad jokes, and you're like, oh, I should probably buy something to make him feel bad.
Definitely not the second. No, he's a good sales guy. We usually have our AI bulls picked out pretty early in the season, and we're trying to find bulls that aren't commonly used. So it's usually not John stopping in to pester me. It's usually me texting him being like, hey, can you track this bull down? Is he Canadian verified or qualified? Can we get him in? So, and he does it. So that must mean he's a good sales guy. So
well, you do his job for him pretty much.
No. He still delivers.
See, if I was like, and maybe this is just like a bad business mindset to have.
I mean, you want to pirate shit.
Yeah. But anyways, like I would probably buy from like who gave me the most free stuff, you know?
Yeah, but they might not have like, because we are so restricted in the bulls we can use as far as marbling and carcass quality, we really struggle to find Canadian bulls that meet our requirements. So we're using a lot of US bulls, and we want to be some of the first Canadians to have access to those US bulls. So for us, it's whoever can get us the bulls we want, we'll give them our business.
So showering you with gifts ain't gonna do shit for you.
No, not unless it's like a few free straws to some special bull that no one else can get.
Yeah.
What about a 2-4 of like Captain Mo? Would that help too?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
2-4, you mean a 2-6?
2-4, 2-6, same thing.
I knew what you meant.
But how is, so for anyone that doesn't know, CMEX for the beef side, CMEX is the umbrella company. So you guys work with Bull Valley Genetics. How's working with them?
Really good. They do all our embryo transfer. We embryo transfer 40 recips and donor cows every year. So we collect a few donor cows every year. We're implanting those eggs into 40 recip cows here, and they are awesome to work with. We do day collections on some of the bulls that we out of our own herd that we want to collect. So yeah, no, they're great. I actually, it's funny because I was supposed to put some cedars and some donor cows last weekend, and I kind of slipped my mind. So I messaged Bow Valley this morning saying, yeah, that's not going to happen. We won't be collecting eggs on the day you wanted because I forgot. So yeah, no, they're really good. They moved it for me.
Nice. another plug there, Bull Valley Genetics.
Well, and they're out by Brooks, right?
Yeah, they are.
So what's the round trip look like for that?
It's about 2 hours one way. We're very fortunate. We sell probably 30 to 40 bulls in the Brooks area. So we usually can go get cows checked out or collected or bulls collected, and then stop in for a beer or two at some bull buyers. So
yeah, there you go.
Makes it
All
fun.
right. I want to shift gears into the bull sales side of things. So how many bulls though are you guys selling on average per year? Because I'm assuming, are you not selling all, say, 50-50? Actually, I have another generic question before we get into that. Are you guys using sex semen?
We are not. For us, we want some heifers and some bulls out of each sire so that we can say these are what the females, like if you're looking for a bull that's going to make females, this is the bull. And we want to be able to, you know, use those genetics ourselves. We are turning bulls over every 3 years. So we'll only use an AI stud for 3 years, and then we're on to the next new thing, because we have bull buyers that come back year to year since the 1980s, before I was born. And they use almost 100% Cudlob bulls. We are flipping our genetic rotation over quite regularly.
Mm-hmm. So how many bulls generally are you guys selling out of bull sale?
So between the two places, we sell 160 yearling bulls in our annual December bull sale. We don't retain ownership, but we keep those bulls here. We feed them through the winter. We just do December because it works best for us. Nobody wants to be calving cows and trying to plan a bull sale, or trying to breed cows and host a bull sale. It just, for us, that didn't make sense. So we host our bull sale in December. It's a slow time for our customers too, so they can come over and check the bulls out, you know, numerous times before the bull sale. And then we keep those bulls and we semen test them at this time of year, deliver upon request pretty much. And then we also ultrasound data those bulls after they're sold, so that they have that data and information, the bull buyers. And then we also sell some bulls private treaty, or if we have a bull that doesn't semen test, we sell mostly our January born bulls in the bull sale. And then we have our February and March born bulls that we have for replacements if something doesn't semen test. If somebody breaks a leg and needs a bull late in the season, we have bulls that kind of fit that. So we typically sell, probably between the two places, we probably have another 60 bulls that we use for replacement bulls, or if somebody's in a pinch, just to help out. So.
Sweet. All right.
A lot of testosterone.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah. Everybody always asks why we don't sell 2-year-olds, and it's because these calves are born in January, and by the time they go out, they're already 18 months old, and they are already like teenage boys. We're destroying fence. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so your sales in December. So with the meal, is it Christmas themed meal? Like, are we going like turkey and like cranberry sauce and stuff like that, or is it like usually like a good old brisket or something?
It's a prime rib, and it's typically AAA or prime rib. You can't say you're one of the leading carcass herds and not serve good beef. So be a little awkward.
Like peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Show up with McDonald's.
There you go, guys.
Yeah. So we have viewing. The last 2 years we went to a video sale, so we have viewing here at the farms of the bulls, and we do, you know, chili for lunch or whatever as guys are going through the pens. And then we have the bull sale, and we sell 160 bulls in 2 hours, and then we have a dinner and party after. So it's a good day.
Yeah, sounds like a good day.
Yeah.
You have to come take a tour on one of those days.
Yeah. I was just about to say, you'll have to come. We also have an annual field day in August. I'll make sure to send you guys the dates for that, and you can come see that. We bring some bull calves up, cows and calves up for everybody to look at, and then also have a steak dinner and beers. And you
should have said that first.
There's lots of beers around.
Oh, sorry.
Pardon me. I said there's lots of beers around. There's always beers around here.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, what's your question?
Well, I was gonna say, do you actually have to like make a bid on something in order to get the prime rib, or is there like some sort of?
It's one. Yeah. No, it's we like to have people there, and we like to have a party. So you guys would be more than welcome to come.
You know what, Mason? Maybe we'll just like help out. You know, one day. We'll just like, hey, we'll come help out, and then there you go. There's our fair share. We earned the prime rib.
Yeah, a little sweat equity.
Instead of putting money up, we put sweat equity.
I never said I was gonna buy one. I just said maybe like throw a bid in.
Just like right off first ball, right off the bat, just you see Mason go on first bid. All right.
Then I have to buy it. Shit.
All right. So you were talking about your farm. You talked about a few organizations you guys are part of. So which ones are those?
So we are partners with Certified Angus Beef. They actually We were their inaugural winner for their Commitment to Excellence Award here in Canada in 2018.
Not a big deal.
No, my dad's pride and joy. It is very neat. We're very lucky to be have them to work with and support us when we need support. And they also came up and painted. They did like a barn paintings in the States, and they painted 40 barns or something the first year, and it was supposed to be, and it still is. There's very few herds in America that have it, and they came up last summer and painted our barn. So they have their logo on our barn. So you drive into our yard, and the Certified Angus beef logo is right there. So that's pretty neat. We work closely with them, and then obviously the Canadian Angus Association, we help them a lot with some research projects and those sorts of things. Alberta Angus, pretty much anything Angus, you'll find us a member of.
That's pretty sick to have that painted on the barn there. Like that's pretty prestigious thing to do. But what's stopping just any average farmer Joe from like painting it on the side of their barn?
Well, it's a pretty big logo, and they, CAB is a pretty big company. So if they want to paint it, that's great. But I'm pretty sure they have some pretty good lawyers to stop that.
Yeah, you might have a good point there. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna present our screen again because I really like this function.
All right.
So for the YouTube people.
Okay, Devin, can you describe it to the listeners then?
So is this the logo you're talking about?
That is our barn. Yeah.
So is this your barn right here?
That is our barn. That is us right there. And I'm even wearing the same shirt. Look.
For the non-YouTube people, it's a big Certified Angus beef logo on the side of a red barn.
Yeah. And that barn is actually 100 years old. And we still calve all 300 cows through it. So it's not heated or anything. It's still pretty original to what it was back in the day. So yeah, that's pretty neat.
Sure, it'd be nice to have some heat in there though.
Just put body heat in there. And now that we're calving more cows in January, we are hoping that we'll have a calving barn by next year. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming though that's new tin that's on the side of the barn, eh?
Yeah, we've tinned it. Probably, like 10 years ago. Yeah. If you actually look on the south side of the barn, there's different colors of green on the roof because, Southern Alberta wind is always helpful with that. And actually the barn does lean to the east. And that is why we put tin on it, because it was like, we got to do something here because it's starting to look a little questionable. So yeah, we put tin on it, and now, it's awesome. It's still on the original foundation. There's still the names carved in it from the original guys that worked on it. And yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
Does that at least have concrete now though inside of it?
No, it's literally original. There's a concrete foundation. And then on the sides, it used to have dairy stalls. So there's some old concrete in there and like big rocks, like the floors are where there's not concrete. It's big rocks that you run into. And it used to be a big draft horse barn. So there's still all the draft horse stalls are in there.
Interesting.
That's pretty dope. I love those old barns. They're so cool.
There's still hay up there from when my grandpa was alive and put it up there. So I don't know how old it is, but it's great insulation. So we just leave it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
there you go. Awesome.
It's some expensive insulation though.
And it's pretty grassy. Some of them still have the hemp strings on them. So like they've been up there a while.
Awesome. Okay.
Do you have any questions before we ask the last beef one?
No.
I got one more. I'm just gonna throw some random numbers out here. So you calve about 700. So if you go 50-50 split on genetics, it's 450 males that come out. How do you determine that early on to call a bull from your bull sale? Like to send it out for commercial beef? Like what's the process beyond that?
Yeah, so I mean, for our 300 cows that we have here, we get about 150 bulls and 150 heifers. Of the bulls, we sell 80 of those through the bull sale, and those majority would be the 80 oldest calves, is typically how that works. It's just people have a hard time comparing like a 9-month-old calf to an 11-month-old calf, we found. So if we can keep them all in a similar age range, it just makes it a lot easier. So that's where the top come off. Any poor performers, calves that just don't look the part, we end up castrating at weaning time. It's not like we have 150 bulls and all of them make it to bulls. That's definitely not the case. We're finally weaning out the poor ones, I want to say. And then you get another flush, like for the private treaty bulls or replacement bulls, we'll sort those again and sort the younger, the poor ones off. And they also go through the meat business. And then you've got the bulls that fail their semen test, and they also go through our meat business. So we're very fortunate. We're guaranteeing AAA and prime on our steaks and our roasts. So anything that doesn't make that, which last year we had 95% grade AAA and prime. So it's pretty rare that we don't have one that grades, but they just go into hamburger products. So that's the bull side of things. The heifer side of things, we keep half the heifer calves, typically 60 to 70 as replacement females. And then we also facilitate a replacement Cudlob influence replacement female sale. So we put in our heifers that we sort off, like the lower performing ones, anything that the vet says isn't breedable, those sorts of things, they get put through the feedlot and again go through our meat business. So we're fortunate we have the meat business to take those cattle that are lower performing. We're able to shove them through our meat business and still get premiums and high grading for them, right? So we're fortunate to have that. So yeah, the replacement heifers that are still good enough for breeding, we put through this Cudlob influence replacement sale. Our customers or bull buyers also bring 700 replacement heifers over to that sale. So there'll be there's 100 directly Cudlob heifers, and then there'll be a large portion of our buyers replacement heifers in that sale. And that's how we market our female side of things. We also facilitate a calf feeder sale for our clients as well. So anyone that uses predominantly our bulls can sell their calves in October in a Cudlob influence video sale with delivery in November. And we are selling them on not just how they look, but their genetics. And been fortunate enough to get like a 5 to 10 cent premium on the day, according to CanFax, for our clients. So we don't benefit from that in that sense at the sale. It's just a way for our clients to market the genetics they're buying.
Okay.
Wow.
Prime rib at the calf sale too?
Yeah, we do a lunch, and then typically after we come home and the bull buyers come and look through their through the calves, and we usually have a few drinks after that too. So
yeah, there we go. Sounds like a lot of drinking up there.
A lot of drinking.
How much work's actually getting done.
we're really great at hospitality.
There you go. Yeah, you're just entertaining clients.
Yeah. All for the business. All for the business.
That's right.
At that 700 at the heifer sale,
Yeah.
you have one auctioneer doing that or two? Because that poor auctioneer, if he's doing 700 replacement heifers,
Well, he's selling one, but they're selling in groups. So and we're selling them as commercial. So and now part of that is because these heifers would their EPD profile would be spectacular, right? Like would be better than the average, I want to say, Canadian herd. So we're pretty particular on selling females with papers because you don't want to sell a group of 50 heifers that have excellent, and you're just creating competition for yourself. So these are just commercial heifers. They're selling, in lots of typically the farms. So they'll sort our 50 heifers this year. They sorted into two groups, weigh groups. So a bigger group and a smaller group based on weight. And you can take anywhere, I think they said from 2 to the whole lot. So they sell by $1 per head, and yeah, they just run through the ring that way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Meat shop.
Meat
You
shop.
brought it up. How did that all get started?
Well, my dad has always been selling halves and wholes for, oh my gosh, 10, 15 years, as long as I can remember. He's always been selling halves and wholes, which I think is pretty common. I mean, you guys probably know it's pretty common for a farm to be selling halves and wholes or whatever.
It's a quick Facebook post. Hey, who wants beef? Question
Yeah,
mark.
right? Exactly. So he's always been doing that. About 3 years ago, when I pretty much when I came back to the farm, I was looking for something to kind of throw myself into. And how can we obtain, because our cattle are grading AAA and prime, we're not receiving premiums for that when we go directly to the plant. We're not receiving those premiums. I'm sure they're receiving premiums selling it as primes, but we are not receiving those premiums. So how can we market those cattle and why can't the farmer obtain those premiums versus, we're just selling them as what they are, we're getting a straight price and someone else is scooping up those premiums. So I worked with a storefront in Nanton called The Hive and the Brisket Case. And we now sell by the piece steaks, AAA steaks, roasts. I pretty much, someone wants a specific cut, I will get it in. And then pepperoni sticks and jerky and burgers and all those sorts of things. And then the Hive recently just moved to Claresholm as well. So we've been fortunate enough to have that partnership. The first year we harvested, whatever. We did, I want to say we did the very first year we did 20 head. Last year we did 40. And already this year we will have done 30. Now, all of those are not going directly through our own meat business. We are, again, fortunate to work with our processor, our local processor in Pincher Creek. And when I'm driving down there to get one done for myself, he's also buying live or on the rail. So I'm able to do that as well. So it's been really good, I guess. It's been a way for us to market our brand a little bit more and be a little bit pickier on the cattle that we're taking to market. And yeah, it's been awesome.
I got favorite cut.
Oh, my favorite cut is probably, you can't go wrong with a rib steak, like a ribeye steak. Can't go wrong with that. Prime rib is it's pretty popular around here.
It's a favorite over there.
My family complains though quite a bit because our steaks are pretty, with having AAA and prime steaks, it's pretty much a pre-order only for our steaks. So we have a lot of hamburger that we have to move. So my poor family says that they get gypped because they don't get good steaks because I sell them all. They even get in our freezer. So, but having said that, our pepperoni sticks and our jerky are really big sellers at the Hives. So it's a great way for us to use that product. And we're moving a beef every 2 weeks now. So we're very fortunate that way that hopefully I can get them some good steaks soon. They always have a good steak for holidays, so I don't really know what they're complaining about.
That's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Well, yeah. And so you've talked. So I noticed, because we have I have a couple friends that are also doing the meats business side of things.
Yeah.
They always talk about the cuts and stuff like that. But how's the other side, the ground beef side, and kind of stuff that not everyone else? How is moving trying to move ground beef? Are you able to get rid of it or not really?
You know what? Ground beef for me, I'm pretty comparable to the grocery stores in town, so I really don't have a problem. And majority of our ground beef is getting made into pepperoni sticks. We have 12 different flavors of snack sticks, and they're they're 6 inches long, and there's 7 of them in a pack, and they fly out of the storefront in Nanton and Claresholm. So it's a great way to use grind product. So yeah, that's majority of our grind and our hamburger. And then we do packs of 4 6-ounce patties or 6 4-ounce patties in a pack. So in the summertime, that's really great for families that are going camping or whatever. And the Hive is located in a great spot. You can actually pull off with a truck and trailer or a holiday trailer or whatever and stop in there. So it's really great for people to just grab a pack of hamburgers, right, to have supper when they get to their campsite or whatever. So yeah, we've been really lucky. We haven't had much struggle getting rid of our, the rest of the animal, but it is a trick. I would say that was the number one challenge when I first got into it, right? Because you're having AAA and prime steaks. It's not the steaks or the roast you have troubles getting rid of. It's how do you keep them in stock? How do you get rid of the rest to keep those things in stock is the struggle.
I think you got to tap into the candy store maybe for the pepperoni.
Oh, that's smart.
It is a really good plate. Like the candy store is a stop in it and you cannot miss. So that is true. Yep.
Yeah. So it sounds like the Hive's doing pretty good for you there in Nanton and Claire's home. Would you ever potentially try to tap into maybe like the Lethbridge market or something like that? Or does that too far travel in your mind?
Honestly, I know some friends and family that do like the farmers markets thing in Lethbridge and Calgary and Edmonton, and they do a phenomenal job. I just have zero interest of sitting at a farmers market all day, I guess. So like no interest. So for me, I would rather the brisket case comes and picks it up once a week. And we do have people that come and buy here off the farm, family and friends. We deliver into Stavely and Claresholm, like the local little towns. But I just don't want it to become a full-time job. My passion is still the cows and working outside. So finding that balance of how hard and busy do you want to be with the meat business? I think you could be as busy as you wanted. It's just how busy do you want to be?
Yeah, exactly. Well, or maybe some of the future plans to have like your guys' own store in a sense, or do you like kind of the setup it is right now?
I mean, like, I'm a dreamer. My parents and my family get frustrated with me because I'm like, oh, we can do that. That's not a problem. But my family, my brother is like, Kate, we farm grainland. We do the cows. Now we've got the meat business. He's like, can we just whoa for a second here? So we did just build a shop. We have a walk-in freezer now. It will be the intent that we have an online store and people can come pick up here once a week or whatever. But I don't want it to be a full-time job. So then that goes to, if it gets that busy, do you hire someone and what's the cost side of that? I pinch everything down to the pennies. So, it's all about if it's worth the cost or the price.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right on. One other thing I kind of add on here was, have you guys ever considered maybe dabbling in like the Wanguses or anything like that, or not so much?
Not really. And I can't. We have a bull buyer actually that they breed their heifers Wagyu, and they sell all those calves, and they have no problems calving. Right, like those Wagyus, they come out running. So that they do that and they love it and they think it's great. I mean, our Angus cows, we like the looks of cattle, and the Wagyu cattle are not eye appealing. You have to adjust your visions of what you want for a cattle. And I think here in the Canadian market, we don't get paid for high marbling cattle. In the standard marketplace, are not like the States do. The States are getting a premium for certified Angus beef, and it's great. We just aren't seeing that happen here yet. And I'm sure you guys know, marbling is not a common word you hear talked about amongst farmers and ranchers, I would say, right? We're the abnormal, we're not the normal. So to go down that Wagyu market, you would be really pushing that even one step farther. And I just don't think we're there yet. And we really believe in the biggest branded beef program in all the world is certified Angus beef. Not certified Angus Wagyu, not certified Angus beef is the biggest branded beef program in all the world. So why, when you have the best, would you go to something else, I guess?
Fair enough. That's a good explanation.
Yeah, go right on. Yeah. Well, you should at least have like one or two just for yourself.
Just for fun. I don't like. See, they're just not like, if I'm going to get something for one or two, I'm going to get like a mini, I don't know, something fuzzy and little. I don't know.
Like a Highland or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Something like that. I'm not going to, no.
What are they on TikTok? Those two mini cows on TikTok. Have you seen them before? Petunia and Poppy. Have you seen those ones?
I have seen them, and I think they are so cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm gonna get a pet cow, to be my lawn ornament, that's probably what I'm getting.
Yeah, screw a dog. I'm getting a cow.
I'm getting a mini cow. It's be a passer dog.
So actually, I guess speaking of TikTok, or do you have any more questions?
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay, so you guys have like a website, obviously, and you're involved in social media a bit. That's probably got to be a bit of like got to be hard to balance all that, between all the stuff that you're doing, and then also on top of that, trying to market and get stuff out onto the internet and stuff like that.
Yeah. We do try and like I say we try and take an active, I try and post 3 times a week actively on Facebook and Instagram under the Cudlob Angus brand. So we do have we have a couple bus tours that come through every summer. So they like to stay in touch and they like to know what's going on. So we've been able to connect with them through that. And I'm also a big sharer on telling our story and farmers and ranchers helping each other, because at the end of the day, if we don't tell our story, someone else is going to. And sometimes that's not always true what they're saying. So, or they're twisting things. And so we do try and post. I would love to post more. Sometimes I get the crazy idea to do more, but at the end of the day, there's just not enough hours in the day. I even had to give myself like kind of a bit of a like, if I don't get to post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I like to post. I try and get 3 in there for sure. But I also am not like, it's not the end of the world, because there's just, as you guys know, there's just so many responsibilities and so much going on a farm, especially with 3 different businesses pretty much going on. So I do try and post 3 times a week. It's not religious, but I do try and do it. We try and do a meat Monday. So I try and focus just on the meat business on Mondays and talk about our partners and what our products are and what AAA and prime means and what intramuscular fat means and, kind of those sorts of things. And it's not about really selling beef. It's just, this is what we're doing right now on the farm. And then Wednesdays and Fridays, I usually try and just do a regular post of, this is what's happening on the farm. So right now I'm talking about, we're in breeding season. What does that look like? We're talking about the heat sense tags. We're talking about artificial insemination. We're talking about what bulls we're using and why we're using them and things like that. So I do try and stay active. I'm just not perfect at it.
We got to come up with some fun names for the Wednesday and Friday. But because you got Meat Monday there.
Yeah.
All right. What else could we do here? I'm thinking, what starts with W and an F that works? Wagyu Wednesday.
No. Or if she got a mini cow, Winnie Wednesday.
Yeah.
That'd be the cow's name.
Yeah, I think so. You'd have to.
We'll
come back.
We'll come back to you on this.
Let me know, and I will take any help. That's great.
Yeah. You ever thought about getting like a TikTok going up?
I have. Again, it's another commitment that you have to like commit to.
Yep.
So I definitely have. And honestly, I'm not good at like lives or anything like that. I just sometimes don't like being on the, when you're out and about, you sometimes just don't like being on the camera. And I don't always look like this. I like to think I do, but I don't always look like this. And I'm not one to be in front of the camera when I don't. So, I definitely have thought about it, but it's just one more thing. It's on the like one day list, it's like, I'd one day like to have a restaurant of my own. I one day like to have, lots of things. Kind of like the pirate ship, maybe one day.
Ooh, there we go. Pirate ship's an investment though. That's the difference.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Any more questions, or can we wrap it up with the last big one?
I think we
The
could.
last 2 big ones.
Yeah. All right. We got
All right. So,
big question here.
well, second biggest question, not the biggest question. What's kind of going to be like the main focuses for your guys' ranch and meat store over the next 5 to 10 years?
Wow. Okay. That's a conversation we're having a lot right now, as my dad is now 71 and me and my brother are both very active on the farm. What does that look like? I think, as you guys have probably realized, I'm a big adopter of technology. So definitely pushing any sort of information we can get. The more information on our cattle is better. And just pushing Angus cattle. Like, there's so much within the Angus breed we can do. And in the cattle industry, period, right? Like, there's so much room for improvement, I think. And I think there's room for improvement as far as carcass quality within the Canadian Angus and Canadian cattle industry. And that's likely where we will be continuing to focus. And then at the end of the day, our bull buyers drive what we do. So it was their idea to have the Cudlob Influence steer sale. So if they are looking, at their futures, we're going to follow kind of what they want out of us. As far as a wider industry, where we're going to push, I think you'll see me try and be more active on social media.
Some TikTok dances in.
Yeah, sure, maybe one day. One day thing.
Is that on the same one day list as a pirate ship?
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So you have Tuesday and Thursdays open, so it could be a TikTok Tuesday.
Yeah. I think it's important to keep telling our story. Like, I think connecting with the consumer is important, and that's a bit of a passion of mine. So I think you'll keep seeing that, that storytelling side of things. And I have always one day dreamed of having like some sort of ag tourism. So that could one day happen too. But at the end of the day, it's just going to keep the cattle and the grain farming. I know I don't have quite as much passion as my brother for the grain farming, but just, sticking to living this lifestyle, and our motto or whatever we're aiming for is that, we want to continue producing cattle that excel in their environment. So whether that's on the hook or in the pasture, that's what we want to keep doing. And we'll keep supporting the cattle industry any way we can to get there.
Cattle is king. That's what it sounds like.
Well, for me, anyway.
Awesome. No, that sounds great. So second last question here. We got two kind of random questions here. We asked all of our guests this question. It's the most important question of the podcast. Favorite beer?
Well, if you would have asked me like 6 months ago, it would have been different than what it is, today now. I never used to be a beer drinker until I went to school in Montana, and then I fell in love with the one that's not to be named currently. So I'm gonna go with Coors Banquet. Yeah, I like a good Coors Banquet on a nice hot summer day. Yeah.
What about like Pilsner?
Yeah, what's your take on Pilsner?
Diesel.
Yeah, I can't say it's my favorite. I don't even know if I have any around here right now. You're gonna find like Coors Light, Coors Banquet. I do like an Ultra every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Those ones are good during the summer because they're like a little lighter.
Yeah.
Low carbs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that matters for you.
Gotta watch the pod.
I do drink a lot of seltzers, so you'll find quite a few seltzers around here. Yep. And then gin. Like my gin.
Okay. A little sophisticated. Okay. Well, Devin's a huge seltzer guy.
Well, yeah, because I'm celiac, so I can't have beers. So I had to.
I bet you got rigged so much for that, drinking seltzers all the time. You poor.
Yeah, we make sure we give it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just weird because like I'm a big dude. Like I'm 6'5", like 240. Like I'm big. And then you just see me walk around with this bright ass tall can, just like, it's just weird.
So when you go out, like, do you talk like that too? Please tell me, like you do.
What actually happened was he drank the beer that should not be named, and then he started drinking the seltzers after.
That's too far.
Well, what's your go-to seltzer then?
I used to be a White Claw girl, but I think I drank too many of them for too long. So I'm.
Yeah, it is. That's terrible.
I'm on like the Coors Light seltzers. They have like a orange creamsicle, and that like, bull sale last year that hit the spot. I just bought these Smirnoff seltzers, peach lemonade, and I'm liking them. So pretty much any seltzer, depends on the day.
Yeah, Devin's a big Vizzy guy.
Oh, yeah, Vizzy.
I went through those last summer. The Corona makes a really nice seltzer too, and they're very good.
Okay.
Alright,
Have you tried that one?
No, I haven't tried that
Oh,
one.
you got to try that one. It's good.
Yeah. My tier goes Coors Light Seltzer, I think is the best one. The thing
Yep.
is, as a Vizzy, you can, if you go to the right place, you can get like a 48 pack or something like that, a 24 pack. It's more economical.
Yeah, because I guess most seltzers only come in a 12 pack.
or like
right?
6 packs.
Yeah.
So then Vizzy's second, and the white. So like Vizzy's up here, and then White Claw's like
Yeah.
past the foundation. It's terrible.
Well, you like Truly's too, don't you?
Yeah, but the problem with Truly equals hangover
Yeah.
every single time. I don't know what it is. They must like pound it with sugar or something like that. But
Oh,
I
that's
only ever get hangovers off of Truly's.
Really? Can't say yet. I wouldn't know that one. Like I like Truly's, but I haven't noticed that that's the only one I get a hangover off of.
That's just me.
Well, and then like the Bud Light ones, I think. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's coming out.
Whoops. Bleep that. Like those ones, I remember they were decent, but those ones were made with malt. So it's
Yeah.
not, is it even really a seltzer? at
No,
that
not
point,
really. Not really.
Um,
Yeah.
no. So what's your favorite beer then, Mason?
What?
What's your favorite beer?
Beer? I run the Pilsners pretty hard. I've kind of been getting into like craft beer lately, though. You know?
Oh,
Sounds like his dad.
Yeah, some IPAs, you know.
I don't like strong beers, so I cannot get on the IPA kick. Like I can't.
Oh, I used to chirp the shit out of people for drinking like IPAs and stuff. I call them hipsters, but like how the tables have turned.
So what you're trying to say is you're balding. And
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
turning into your dad. That's what
Trying to push off those thoughts. So yeah, I'm an old man. Whatever. All right, last question. NFL playoffs. Who are you rooting for?
Dude, those are like.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like,
I was gonna say those are like
NHL.
around 10 months.
Why? Who wrote NFL on here then? I was reading off the sheet. I'd probably be-
That's asking a
That's
lot.
what I meant to say.
That's asking a lot. You know what? I'm probably terrible because I haven't kept up on it since the Flames started losing. So I don't even know what's going on now because.
So you're a Flames fan. So
So you know what? It's like bred into me. My dad and my brother are big Flames fans. It's what we watched all growing up, you know. So you turn into one. I went to a Flames game. So yeah, that's just who you cheer for. That's what you do.
So you won't even root for the Oilers then in the playoffs?
You know,
won't have a little Alberta patriotism.
I might cheer against them.
Well, I'm gonna feel bad that the Flames aren't in. You guys can suck it.
These aren't mine.
I was picking up on that. I watched the last podcast and I was like, why is there not a Flames jersey here? But you didn't get a
You
vote.
must not be a very good
No,
fan.
do you know why?
He hasn't provided one yet.
My last Flames jersey was before I started getting fat. So it's like a really, really small. I'm talking like 13 years old. So I guess
Oh,
So it's the perfect one to hang on the wall because it doesn't.
Like it cropped off. No, it would look weird then.
I mean, there is a bit of a color scheme going on here until you hit, and actually, you can't even see it right now, but there's even a Danger Cats hockey jersey on the end there. That's also Mason's.
Yeah, that was a very impulse purchase. Maybe worn it like twice. If you want it, you can have it.
Trying to give it away now.
Pretty much. Awesome. All right.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah, so I guess finishing off here, I guess do you want to just shout out your social media accounts and your website maybe quick?
Sure. Yeah. The website is cudlob.com. And then social media is Cudlob Angus on Facebook, Cudlob Angus on Instagram. And then I'm Kaitlyn Bolduc, and on Facebook I'm public too. And I pretty much just share the farm stuff. So
There you go.
pick your one.
Everybody go give it a follow. Everybody go buy some beef.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Stop in. If you're going through Nanton or Claresholm, stop in at the Hive. It's all locally made stuff. So
Yeah. Right after you go to the candy shop.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. And they're not that far apart. So it's perfect.
Walking distance. Perfect.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for doing this, Kaitlyn. This has been awesome.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And that was our interview with Kaitlyn.
Yeah, thanks again for coming on, Kaitlyn. It was a lot of fun chatting with you, and we'll have to
Go check out her socials for everything about their herd, and then also about their meat shop.
That's right.
Well, not their meat shop, their meat products, because I guess we got that kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Before the interview, they sell their meat through local stores in, I think in Nanton and in Claresville. Yes.
That sounds about right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to do an FYI, folks. Like, we were kind of made a couple mentions to it earlier that we didn't press record the first time we did the banter. The first time we did the banter, it was way better. I'm just gonna go on a liver and say depth.
Yeah, it was.
It's always hard to try to reenact that shit.
Yeah,
so,
it was very flowy and natural.
Yeah.
I mean,
but shit happens.
This one wasn't bad either.
Shit happens. Yeah.
We've had worse banters.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We've had, like, grumpy B-word Devin banters that did not want to be there.
Grumpy piece of shit, Devin.
Yeah. We've had those.
Which is like every day lately. I'm just kidding.
Like,
chill out. I'm just kidding, bro.
It's tough.
All right.
I caved and I got a Dairy Queen salted, or I think it's like a caramel.
That was pretty good. You gave me a bite.
Fudge cheesecake, yeah. Except I gave you did I give you any of like the actual bites?
Oh fuck no, you didn't give me anything. But still, it was good.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Their ice cream's stellar. All right. Side note though, that's coming to mind before I ask you the final question of this interview.
Okay.
Or this podcast. Did you see that the Booster Juice opened?
Yeah, I saw there's one.
If you're an old local, we got Booster Juice now.
I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I love Booster Juice.
You like paying like way too much money for an average smoothie?
We never get frozen shit for smoothies anyways. I don't even know if we have this blender in this house.
There's a blender somewhere.
See, I want to make
Actually, I don't even know if we have a blender here.
This is my formal complaint to my landlord who's sitting right beside me. We don't even have a blender.
Yeah, well, my tenants fucking suck, so why would I treat them good?
He's talking about you, John, not me.
Whatever.
Anyways.
Okay, I wanted to say
right.
something first here. If anybody's also keeping up to date with the tattoo bet, Oilers made it to the second round. So I officially don't have to get a Hicks from the Sticks tattoo on me. I'm in the non-regrettable phase of the bet. And so Oilers won tonight. Series is tied 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, blew them out of the water. So, I mean, we'll see how the Knights react now. But how they come back and react. But I don't know, Deb.
Who knows?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like we're probably all just going to get tattoos anyway.
Yeah, I think we're also going to get tattoos anyways. It just depends if I get a Hicks from the Stick one now or a nice one. Hicks from the Sticks. So, all right. So, Mason.
Okay.
We've had this question a few times on, and I thought we've never really talked about it.
Okay.
But what's your piece of advice for anyone that wants to start a podcast?
Get somebody to do it. Like, get somebody to do it with. Like, Dev is just going to do everything for you. Hey, we wouldn't. This is also appreciation podcast towards Devin. Devin's been put kind of through the ringer a little bit when it comes to some of this podcast stuff. So Devin, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm still the CEO because I came up with the idea, but
you're
the COO. You know, you're the chief operator, whatever that is. So thank you to Devin for what he does. In real talk though.
I guess that wasn't real talk. So I was just like,
back to the real question. That's what I meant to say.
Fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. No, back to the question though. I would say, first off, you gotta pick a topic to go off of.
You gotta pick something you actually enjoy, but also that other people will enjoy.
Yeah, and then to be honest, like we just do it where you need at least two people. If you're just talking to yourself, you go crazy after a while, and it won't be very good.
Some guys do a pretty good job.
Yeah, and I would say as well, like when it comes to podcasts, like depending on who you want to do it with, I would say almost the more the merrier. We'll get to a point where it'll be too much, but like a lot of the podcasts I listen to, there's like they'll have like 4 or 5 guys a part of it,
or,
3 to 5 or whatever, and it's then you get a lot more opinions, and you can kind of you just have more to work with in a sense, right?
Yeah,
you can feed off of each other a little bit more.
But me and Mason are like 4 or 5 people just by size and
size and weight wise.
So we compensate
exactly. So yeah, we
if you know what I mean. Anyway,
sure.
Continue.
Another thing too is I guess you just got to figure out what you need for equipment, and then
ask for help. Do you know what my advice is? See, the thing is like we kind of just went on the internet and said how to start a podcast for under $300. I'm not shitting you guys. Like we tried to figure out the cheapest way to do this, didn't have most fun. My advice is find a podcast that you like, and then maybe you have a chance of getting an answer back from, and just ask them, how the hell do you start a podcast?
Yeah.
Because, like, I would say over the past 4 months, we've gotten some big, you know who you are, but big help and advice from specific people and guests.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think the podcast has gotten, I wouldn't say a lot better, but it has gotten better over the past 4 months.
Growth, yeah.
There's been some growth, and just ask.
Yeah.
Because it's tough to do it by yourself.
Oh yeah.
It is, and it's not fun. And I think that's why a lot of podcasts die, is because you try and do it yourself. And then
also, don't expect to be making money anytime soon.
Yes.
So, do it as a hobby.
And it's not just coming from us. It's not even just coming from us. It's coming from other podcasts too that we've done.
Yeah.
Other people we've talked to. You don't make money right away.
No.
It takes time. And if you want to kind of get a little bit of a gig out of it, be in the game for years. 2 to 3 years.
Either that, or you gotta pretty much devote all your time to it. Quit your day job and just market the shit out of your podcast.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Because thank you again to Jace for sponsoring the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a hobby. It's a hobby, but you also gotta treat it seriously. It's like a serious hobby, you know?
Yeah.
It's like golf.
It's like golf.
Golf is a serious hobby.
Devin, you don't take it seriously though. So that was a terrible analogy.
I know, it's funny because I think
you go out there and you just try getting shit-faced. You don't even like the sport.
I know. And
you're just like drinking.
And we're gonna start.
You're just an alcoholic. That's all you are.
The problem is we're gonna start golfing during the week, once a week or something like that.
We're gonna have to be careful. Do you think?
Well, you're gonna have to be careful. You're driving. I ain't driving. I'm driving the golf cart.
Do you think that we should walk the courses this summer? Get our steps in?
Fuck no.
Well, it was a question. I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying we're both trying to lose some weight.
No. Okay. It doesn't matter.
It was a fucking question. I'm not saying we have to.
I'm saying though, if we walk, I'm just gonna get more thirsty and just drink more. And I'll sweat so much and lose a lot.
Well, maybe mix in a water, bud.
Fuck water. There's water in seltzers. It's 50% water.
It is true. It will keep you hydrated.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
Side tangent. But yeah, no. Basically, if you want to start a podcast, ask for help and do something you enjoy doing.
Yep.
And also make sure people find it interesting to listen to. If you enjoy knitting, doing a podcast on knitting is not interesting. I'm sorry to say.
Devin just shit on the entire knitting community.
They come after.
They're gonna come after us, Dev. We're gonna get canceled.
We're gonna get
canceled.
Canceled by the knitting community.
Yeah, the knitting community. They're just like a bunch of Swifties. They're crazy about their craft. But yeah.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Knitting's craft.
There you go.
Good one.
Anyways, yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast. Go shout out to all the farmers out there. Crush it during planting.
Yeah, also stay safe, and our thoughts and prayers are to everyone that's affected by the Alberta wildfires.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Devin's going to do a rain dance tonight. He's going to go on top of the house and he's going to do a little rain dance. So
I'll try my best.
We'll get some rain coming for you folks.
We'll get some rain coming. But yeah, no, tune into the Instagram for all the details on the giveaway, and then tune in and stay tuned for the big merch announcement.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for listening, folks.